Hi, I'm Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about 15 things. I don't have 15 fingers. We're going to talk today about 15 things that you can declutter from your sewing room today. As quilters, sewists, crafters in general, we don't have a hobby that lends itself to minimalism very well, okay? There are people who do it, and I love you. I love you so much because you have so much self-control, okay? While the rest of us are piling it up like it's going out of style and all the fabric stores are shutting down and we're buying it up as quick as we can and storing it and holding on to it, okay? It can very quickly go from a small-time, little part-time hobby to taking over your whole house, and there's no closet space that is off limits for storing craft supplies. You need some level of organization. If you take this step of 15 things that you can take out of your craft room, and I swear you will not miss them, okay? Number one, empty your trash cans. Empty your thread baskets next to your sewing room. Any bits and pieces of fabric that you know you're not going to use, okay? Those like teeny, tiny scraps that are just floating around everywhere. Threads, trash, shopping bags. Y'all, how many shopping bags do we need? Get them out. If you have them laying around and they're just waiting and you haven't used them in goodness knows how long. Two, paper junk, okay? Coupons, old mail, old sales flyers that are expired. You don't need those, okay? We keep them, especially if they come with our receipts. You know, you get like a coupon for your next visit if you come between this time and this time on the calendar. Toss them, okay? You don't need them. This also goes for old patterns and things that you have laying around. You don't have to toss them in the trash, but you can file them away for later. If you have a special folder that you keep all of your printed patterns in, if you have a drawer that you put them in, if you have a spot in your computer that you scan them in and leave them in there as PDFs, just don't leave them all over your desk if you're not using them. Number three, this is a big one. Pens, markers, Sharpies, broken pencils. Anything that does not work the way that it is meant to work. Any writing tools that are kind of sort of dried out, and you know, we all have that little cup, right, with all the pens and pencils in it. If you reach for that marker and it doesn't write the way you want, and so you put the lid back on and put it back in the cup and reach for another one, let the first one go because you don't like it, okay? You don't like it. Take it, toss it. You don't need it anymore. Number four, spare buttons. You know, when you buy a shirt and it comes with a little package of spare buttons, how many spare buttons does a person need? I don't know. Figure out what a reasonable amount of buttons for you is. It might be a jar, okay? And once that jar gets full, you need to go through and find, you know, the ones that you don't need in order to make room for the ones that you do need. A lot of people will just buy a second jar or move to a bigger jar, okay? Figure out how much a reasonable amount of buttons is and keep it at that. Number five, this one might be a little bit hard, but anything you are keeping out of guilt, it needs to go. It needs to find another home. Something needs to be done with it. It doesn't need to stay in your space. Perhaps somebody bought you something as a gift. Let's just put it that way. That's an easy one. Somebody bought you something as a gift because they thought that you would love it. And while you love that person, you're not in love with what they gave you, right? But you still have it on display. You still have it proudly prominent in your home, but it's not your favorite. You don't have to keep the thing that you don't love in order to love the person that you do love, okay? So anything that you're keeping out of guilt, let it go. Six. Okay, that was a hard one. Let's do an easy one. Anything that you have piled up in the corner of your home or of your sewing room that you have intentions of donating, you put it in a pile so that it can be donated. Today's the day, okay? Get rid of it. Let it go instead of just letting it sit there in the corner for all these days, weeks, months, who knows how long. Let it go. Take it, move it to your car, and then drive to the donation facility and drop it off. Number 7, any trinkets, doodads, little things of that nature. You know, we like to collect things, okay? We are lovers of stuff, cute things, handmade things, and before you know it, your collection just kind of grows out of control. So again, with that stuff, if you don't absolutely love it, it's time for it to go. Number 8, broken tools or worn out tools that you don't need anymore. You may have even done this. You may have even replaced the tool, bought a new one, and then decided that you would keep the old broken one or old worn out one as a backup for someday, right? I can't tell you, okay? I can't tell you what to do, but I'm telling you, I have never once been so desperate that I turned to an old broken tool that I had as a backup when I could have just gone out and bought a new one or figured out how to make it work, use my scissors, I don't know, you know, something, all right? I haven't ever come into such a predicament that I have had to turn to those old broken tools. You don't need them. All right, number 9, any books or patterns that you are not using and you don't have any intention in getting to those again, those are taking up shelf space. They're taking up real estate in your home and in your life and in your craft space. All right, number 10, storage containers without lids or lids that are broken and storage containers that do not fit your space well. I know. They're serving a purpose of holding something, okay? But if they're broken and they're not serving you well, then they're not serving you well and you can definitely do better, okay? You don't have to go and replace them all at once. You don't have to go and have a huge budget or anything like that. If you're looking to redo your sewing room, I actually have a guide. I will put the link up top here. That guide walks you through redoing your sewing space in 30 days. It really is a game changer for a lot of people because it helps you look through things like that and you don't have to have a big budget. I have a budget guide that goes along with that too. You don't have to have a big budget, but if you have storage containers that are not serving you well, then it's just becoming clutter, right? It's just clutter. It's not serving you. You don't need it. That brings me to another thing. Number 11. Okay. Unnecessary furniture. A lot of times us crafters think, I just need more storage. I don't need less stuff. I need more storage, right? You're looking at your space and you're assessing, I could fit a shelf there. I could fit that there. And a lot of times we will adopt this hand-me-down furniture and, you know, we'll hit up IKEA and we'll buy all of these beautiful shelves and create this craft space that has tons and tons of storage in it. And what I have found over the years is storage, furniture, drawers, the more you have, the more you fill it up, right? If you have an empty drawer in your home, that's gonna be a spot to keep things, right? So if you have less furniture and less space to store things, you're automatically going to kind of fill the space that you have. Now you can outgrow that space and get furniture if you need it, but unnecessary storage, okay? If your room is just too full and you're thinking, I don't know what I can get rid of, try getting rid of an entire piece of furniture and see if that helps your space feel lighter. It helps you organize and prioritize the items that you have in your space. Number 12, decor and items that you just don't love. We touched on this earlier, but you know, it's really easy to get caught up when you're at the store and you see something and you think, oh, that's cute. That'll fit perfectly in that little space on my wall. I love that, right? If you don't love it anymore, it's okay to let it go. When you are really prioritizing the things in your home, it's okay to let those things go. Number 13, scraps that you have no intention of using. Okay, this is not just applies to fabric, okay? This can go for any craft supplies that you have no intention of using. Number 14. This also goes for hobbies that you don't see yourself getting into anymore, okay? If you're never ever gonna get back to scrapbooking, my goodness, the things that I collected for scrapbooking thinking one day I would have time to do it. Maybe you will get back into it, maybe you won't. Give yourself permission to let it go and move on. What about all of those work in progress projects that you will not get to? I shared a little bit about this in the video that I posted last week. I'll put the link right up here for you. Projects that you know you're not going to get to. Okay, projects that you started and for whatever reason you lost your sojo, you lost your motivation. So that's that. I hope that that helped. I hope that will help you clean and declutter your space a little bit, give you a little bit of extra motivation to work on keeping your space an environment that really inspires you, brings you joy, and allows you to create at a much higher level of productivity than a space that is just weighing you down with all of the extra stuff that you have laying around. For more modern quilting tips, tricks, and tutorials, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, please. Make sure you hit that button. Also, make sure you hit the little bell afterwards. If you really like this video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that so much. That's my favorite button on YouTube. I love that button a lot. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. I will see you next time. I'm Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com. I'll see you later. Bye.